Okay, in this video this is what I have is a sample writing assignment for the third writing assignment that's due in class. Well, this will give you an example of how to complete that assignment. Here we got Robert spending 300 minutes in the gym on a weekly basis. The percentage of time he spent on each of 5 activities is shown in the circle graph below, as you can see here. And here there are 3 questions. Number 1, how much time did Robert spend on running? Okay. He spends 300 minutes in the gym. Now, based on this circle graph, he spends 38% of his time on running. So we're looking for 38% of 300. So in this case here, 38% of 300. And we want to know how much of that is spent on running. Okay, we need to change 38% to a decimal. Here we drop the percent sign and move the decimal point 2 places to the left. So the decimal point will be in front of the 3. So it'll be 0.38 of means we need to multiply by 300. So it'll be 0.38 times 300. And if we figure that out, it will end up being 114. So here, Robert spends 114 minutes on running. Alright, number 2. How much more time did Robert spend on running than on curls? Okay, now back in number 1, we've already found out that he spent 114 minutes on running. Now we need to find out how much time he spent on curls. In this case, he spent 12% on curls. So we need an actual number of minutes here. So that will be 12% of 300. 12% of 300. Alright, now 12% as a decimal, if you want to, you can do 12 divided by 100, and that will change that percent to a decimal for you, which will be 0.12. Again means multiply by 300. So it'll be 0.12 times 300, which will give you 36. So in this case here, he spent 36 minutes on curls. This is right here on running for number 1. And this one is on curls, number 2. Now, the question asked, how much more time did Robert spend on running than on curls? Well, he spent 114 minutes on running. He spent 36 minutes on curls. So, to find out how much more time, you have to subtract 114 minus 36. So 114 minus 36 will give us 78. So in this case here, Robert spent 78 minutes more on running than he did on curls. And then number 3, the sum of the amount of time Robert spent on sit-ups and push-ups is equal to the number of minutes he spent on what other activity? Okay. The amount of time he spent on sit-ups and push-ups. Well, sit-ups he spent 15% of that time. and that's 300. And push-ups, he only spent 10% of that time, which is 10% of 300. So 15% of 300 will be 0.15 times 300, which would give us 45 minutes. And then 10% of 300, that's going to be 0.10 when I change 10% to a decimal, times 300. That'd be 30 minutes. Now if I add 45 minutes and 30 minutes together, you're going to get 75 minutes total on sit-ups and push-ups. Now that's going to be equal to the number of minutes he spent on what other activity? Well, let's think about this. If I add 15% and 10%, that's going to be 25%. There is an activity where Robert spent 25% of his time on, and it's right here, bench pressing. So here, I can check myself by doing 25% of 300, or 0.25 times 300, which in this case gives us 75. So here he spent 75 minutes on bench pressing, which is the same amount of time that he spent on doing sit-ups and push-ups combined. Okay? Alright, so this should be enough for you to complete that third writing assignment.